I just don't understand why this has happened so suddenly.
No.
You know, why?
Why to us? Why to us? We haven't done anything wrong.
No, we haven't.
Oh,
Because
that's true.
for the last 10 years, we've been going out and spending money
Spending
like
money.
we were supposed to do.
Hand over fist.
To keep the economy
Absolutely,
going.
we've been doing that.
Yeah.
But you see, it's the bloody banks and their greed. And the government, I'm sorry to say this, but they're completely pathetic.
Pathetic.
They're only going to guarantee, what is it, the first £35,000 of deposits in the bank? Well, what's that to a man like me? It's a drop in the ocean.
Nothing.
You
Nothing.
can't trust banks anyway.
No.
I mean, you used to be, in the old days, you could trust a bank because you had a bank manager.
Yes.
So there was a personal relationship. You could go in there and you could tell by his demeanour, you know, how things were. If he was looking pale, then you'd be a bit worried.
Yes.
If he was standing on the window ledge outside his office, you'd be even more worried.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonder sometimes. You know, I mean, I think we must look at ourselves, first of all, and I wonder, is there such a thing as having too much money? You know? I suppose my point is, and indeed Bono's point is, that we can survive with very little. And I look at my own situation and I think, you know, I would be happy if I now had no more.
Really?
Yes, well, now, provided I could keep my house and everything in order, my needs, everything that I have now.
And your cleaner and yes.
Yeah, but that is enough.
Yes, but that would be enough. I understand.
You know, I knew a man who actually was suddenly impoverished. I mean, overnight, virtually, he lost everything. And it was very interesting because he accepted it. He just constantly had a very vivid sort of inner life, and he concentrated on that. And he was a very, very wise man in very many ways. And I'd like to have spent more time with him. But he smelt rather a lot.
But, you know, what I feel is that when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Yes.
And I'm going to be doing what in the city we call bottom trading.
Oh, darling, I don't like to say
Fishing.
that.
No, it's yes, it's when the shares hit the rock bottom, you see, on the bottom, then you get them.
You go back to the Great Depression, 1929. The only people who did well out of that, as it were, Hitler and Mussolini.
Yes. Well, those were redeeming features, I suppose.
That they did well.
But, I mean, where are we going to find our Mussolini?
Yes.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Where will we
Where?
find a strong personality?
Yes.
Who is the man we need?
Who is the man?
You're an investment banker.
Yeah, I am, but I do hope this isn't going to be about bankers' bonuses. You know, it's...
No, it's about the future of the world economy.
Well, so long as it's nothing important.
But wasn't it the reckless lending into the property market that was the root of this crash anyway?
Well, look, I've had 40 years' experience of the City of London, and if I've learned nothing else, and I have learned nothing else, it's that there is a rule that property values never go on rising forever.
That's a rule.
That's an absolute cast iron rule. They never have, and they never will, and only a complete fool would think otherwise.
I see, yes.
Except that just this once we thought they would.
Go on rising forever.
Go on rising forever. But then we thought we'd found a way where, even if they did go on rising forever, we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Oh, this is some securitization.
Securitization. You see, the problem about lending money to people who haven't got the glimmer of a chance of paying it back is that there's a risk.
That they won't be able to pay it back.
No, that's not a risk, that's a cast iron certainty. No. The risk is that in some very complicated way, the bank will lose money. Now, what happens with securitization? You see, before securitization, we could see the risk. It was there. We had it, you see.
Yes.
And then, after securitization, what that did was, the risk was sort of out there somewhere. Nobody knew, you know.
No.
But then we look back and, oh my God, it was still there after all.
And this is what led to what a lot of people think should be put a stop to, which is the so-called casino banking.
Oh, well, now, there's been a lot of loose talk about casino banking. Personally, I think there should be more of it, not less.
Why?
Well, because, as I understand it, in a casino, the bank always wins. I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm not a gambler, at least not with my own money.
But now, I mean, the bank can't possibly lose, can it? Because, I mean, for example, what, £1.5 trillion has been spent in the UK on bailing out banks, which is a total loss per household of £31,000.
But, I mean, that's not hardly anything, is it, really? But look and see what happens when a bank was allowed to go bust, when Lehman's was allowed to go bust, the entire financial system panicked.
But was the panic justified? I mean, was it necessary?
Bankers panic. I'm a terrible panic. I only have to see a spider and ooh. No, they do. Bankers always panic a lot. The important thing is that to get back into some kind of stability, the panic has to be stopped, whatever it costs.
Stopped? Oh, no. Don't tell me how it should be stopped. By giving the banks enormous amounts of money.
That's always a good thing, isn't it?
Right.
But you see, you must understand what bankers do. We don't make furniture, we don't write novels, we make money. That's what we move money around. And so keeping, you know, a lot of it for ourselves is what counts for us as job satisfaction.
So as bankers, you're going to have to go back to doing the simple things.
The simple things, exactly. And, you know, I mean, it's quite nice, really. You know, after years of making money out of things I didn't understand, it's rather nice to make a bit of money out of something I do.
Which is what?
Well, essentially, paying savers next to nothing and charging borrowers lots. I mean, I'm not very good with figures, but I do understand that.
But you're only able to do that, aren't you? Because the taxpayer's given you billions of pounds. Doesn't that worry you?
Why should it? It means we can lend people their own money and charge interest on it.
And that is the future of banking?
Very much the future of banking, certainly not more than you know, CDOs or the strange and complex financial instruments that we've been used to. You know, I mean, I used to come home from the office sometimes, and my wife would say to me, "What did you do today, darling?" And I said, "I made £2 million." And she said, "How?" And I said, "I haven't the faintest idea." But that's a side issue. Now, the main thing is that politicians realise they must never, ever let another bank go bust, whatever it costs.
Which must be very reassuring for you as a banker.
Yes, well, it is reassuring. It's very nice to know that however stupid and incompetent I am, is not going to make any difference. And another thing that politicians have come around to, which pleases me enormously, is that somehow they have come to the conclusion that this whole problem was a problem of reckless government spending, you know, and that's what's caused all the cuts, you know. And they say, well, you've got to be honest with the public, you know, and the public aren't fools. They must think the public are fool enough to have forgotten what it was that caused the cuts in the first place.
Yes. So how much of this £1.5 trillion that has been given to the banks, can I ask, how much of that is going towards your bonus?
Well, see, I knew it. It was all about bonus.
Because everything else is just noise.
It's not just noise. There's 15,000 jobs on the line. 15,000 people here. That's not noise. Are we going under?
You know, I never liked this damn dog.
Louis, are we going under?
You're asking the wrong question, Jacob.
What's the right question?
Who isn't?